Before Dawn is the most ambitious exhibition project that I've undertaken. It's been a decade of investigations, material investigations, spiritual investigations. Maybe what makes this show so ambitious also is this notion of embedding the sacred, creating the essence of the divine and this sacred space, which I have never really stepped into. It feels like a real point of transition, and it's the scale on which you can make a work that belongs in a museum or a large collection, something that you wouldn't necessarily find in a commercial space. You suddenly have the opportunity to realise these dreams and these visions. And possibly the reason that it's been possible is because of the energy that is Orange Regional Gallery. It's a really special space and it has a special energy where it's safe to step into the unknown, and it's safe to present something that is really a little bit difficult. The horse is always imbued with power and grandness and show, I suppose. But for me, the horse has always been about vulnerability and fragility and this tenuous nature of being. You know, it's not all about power, and yeah, there's a lot of delicacy in how I envisage the horse, what the horse is for me. And the horse has always been my way of telling a human narrative. So I've told my story through the form of a horse. So it will appear with this darkness and this torment and the full of energy that's got weight and sadness. So I think the horse will always be a part of my work. The decision came to bring the galloper into the gallery. It came from the last charge work I made, which was a memorial to the charge of Beersheba. I wanted you to feel what it would be like to be in the trenches, having a full cavalry charge gallop at you. Like, I wanted you to see it from under. And in elevating this sculpture, that's exactly what's happened. It's an alive work. It's very much in motion, but I think in that space it's going to have that emotive quality of what Before Dawn is about. I love bronze. It's not a path I expected to take. I never expected to study sculpture either. I thought that I would study painting, and I realised early on in the piece, one, that I'm very physical and that I need to physically push against something, and sculpture is that medium, and the fact that you can navigate it and that it requires attention 360 degrees. You know, it's not a flat plane, it's something that has to work from every angle. You know, I think something to push against is how I ended up in sculpture. I made ceramic work and I made steel work. And what I love about clay is that it's so malleable and you can get your fingerprint in it, and it's got a real touch of hand. And then steel, it has this magical tensile strength. It's the materiality also drew me to sculpture. I love objects, I love rope, I love hessian, I love canvas, like all that materiality is really important to me. So all of a sudden I thought, wow, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be working in bronze because I can, all those things. What had always frustrated me about steel is that its industrial nature, that it's cold and hard and sharp, and it's very difficult to get the touch of hand in steel. So I love the bronze because you can, as I said, embed your thumbprint, organic material can get made into metal that you can then weld, or it can live forever, like it's not ephemeral anymore, like it does have a lifespan. And I think that's a curious thing, isn't it? Because it's all the parts of my practice are getting an opportunity to speak and to be seen and to have a life. There's that real ability for materials to carry an emotion or a real embedded intensity, which you don't get with the cast shiny object. But yeah, then there's a reverence with the material of bronze, like it is this extraordinary thing. It's ancient, it's an ancient process that I'm using. It's been around for thousands and thousands of years. And there's that ability to turn something fragile into something that you can hit with a hammer. I think that life is about people, and that when I question my own reasons for making art and whether or not that's a fruitful thing for the world, I think it makes me a better person. And I give then to more people, and so therefore it has to be a good thing. The community aspect of art making has always interested me. Ever since I left art school, I've actively tried to involve other people in opportunities that I've had. And when I built the foundry, obviously there was going to need a team to support it. I now provide a creative employment opportunity in the arts in the Central West, in a little town called Portland. Like, you know, who would have thought that that was possible? And I have the most brilliant young studio team working with me, and they are enthusiastic, motivated, they're like sponges. They have learnt so many skills in the past 2 months. I watch them in awe. I'm like, wow. So yeah, it's really exciting to be able to generate that sort of energy. I also think that art has the possibility to enrich people's lives, and you can involve an entire community in what you're doing, and it gives them the opportunity to think differently and to ask questions. So I think bringing people along for the ride is really important. This bronze figure that we're making feels like a really powerful and a really important work to be making at this point in time. So the sculpture that I'm building stems from a work that I made of a female figure on stilts, on this almost animal-like scaffolding construction. So one of the things that I was drawn to in India and Mongolia and Bhutan is the scaffolding. I love the scaffolding. I think it's the combination of lines, the materiality, the rope, the junctures, what it can do. I've always been transfixed by this notion of the scaffolding. So the figure was on scaffolding, and she also related to a dancer. Pina Bausch is a very well-known dancer. There's another dancer called Lisa Buffano who was an amputee, and she danced on table legs attached to each of her limbs, and she performed this dance routine on these table legs. Like, it's just extraordinary what the body can do and the way it can move, how it can animate space. And so as I'm building her, I've collected all these sticks from years ago, from the Traralga bushfires. And I've used them in drawings, and I've made moulds of them, and we've been casting these sticks from the bushfires. I'm like, okay, I want to build this figure. It's sort of a deconstructed figure. It's not literal. And I want this goddess creature to be real. Like, I want to show that empowered feminine and live her, I suppose. There's two archetypes that I relate to. One's the Green Tara, who comes from the Buddhist faith. She's of service and she's helping and she's ready to do, ready to act. And the other, who I've recently been introduced to and empowered by, is Kali, who's from the Hindu faith. And curiously, I made the head for this goddess creature with a mask. And we had a mishap with one of the investment moulds that we were taking out of the kiln, and the top broke off. And I'm like, well, we're not going to waste all that effort. And I bound it together, bound this mould together, and we poured it. And we're left with this extraordinary shape. And it's become a second mask for the Kali goddess, who's the goddess of fire and strength. And like, I essentially made her this mask of fire. So she represents two things: that innate want to give and be of service and to look after the world and provide opportunity. And she also represents this fire of, you know, I am woman, hear me roar. It's an interesting space to find myself. I'd like the show to move people in some way, for it to trigger something, whether it be joy, whether it be sadness. Yeah, an emotional response is what I'm always after from a viewer. If I can get an emotional response, I feel like I've done a good job. As I said, it's a real transition point, this show. It feels like I'm leaving something behind, and I am embracing my full potential or capacity as an artist, that I can work with all these materials. All these materials are part of my practice. It creates a sense of possibility, you know, opens a big door. And the other side is a different space. It doesn't have that same energy that the darkness before dawn has. It's after dawn. It's dawn. There's a new light. It's a golden space.